All right, so for those of you that missed the introduction for our sister last week, I'd just like to reintroduce her to you. So our presenter for today is Tanisha Graham, and by day, she dedicates her time to shaping young minds as a professional teacher, but outside the classroom, her passion turns toward the beautiful art of natural creation. What started as a beloved hobby led her to pursue formal training at the Formula Botanica Organic Cosmetic Formulation School, where she successfully earned her diplomas in both skincare and hair care formulation. Above all her professional and creative pursuits, her heart belongs to her faith and her family. She is a devoted follower of the Lord, a loving wife, and the proud mother of two beautiful children. She brings a unique blend of a teacher's patience and a scientist's curiosity and a servant's heart to our workshop today. So, without further ado, I'm going to hand over to our sister, Tanisha Graham. Go ahead, my sister.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Are you hearing me? I know that I was having some technical difficulties earlier. Let me know if you're hearing me, please.
Yes, we're hearing you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'd like to say welcome. And if you missed last week, we have you covered. We have the recording. For those of you who are not in the group, it is on YouTube, so you can go to Alira's Natural and you can find it there. So we have you covered. All
Thank
right.
you.
So today we are going to be talking about body butters, as you can see. Now, I know a lot of you like body butters, so I'm going to ask if that's one of your favorite. Let me know. Put a one in the chat if that's your go-to. Yes, my sister, we will put the YouTube link in there before we leave. All right, so I see that some of you go to is body butter. All right. So before we start, I must say we are going to look at 1 Corinthians 3, verse 16, where it says that know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwells in you. So we know that we are God's creation. And of course, we ought to know what we put on our skin and also inside our bodies. So that's the basis we are going on today. Before we go any further, let me go through the disclaimer. Any recipes and formulas provided to you are for demonstration purposes only. No testing has been undertaken unless otherwise specified, and the information that will be presented is for educational purposes only. Your use of this presentation is entirely at your own risk. So we're going to look at body butter, and today we are looking at mango and grapeseed body butter.
Mango
So
and grapeseed body butter.
Mango and grapeseed. Yes. So body butter is a skincare product. It's designed to provide intense moisturization and nourishment to the skin. It is a thick, creamy substance that is typically used to hydrate and soften the skin, leaving it feeling smooth and supple. Body butters are especially beneficial for dry or very dry skin, as they contain rich ingredients that helps to lock in moisture. When it's fat-rich product to protect it against cold and dry weather. Body butters are the ideal skincare to meet this need. So, especially in the winter, body butter is your go-to. No, I'm not really a fan of body butter. No, last week we talked about our skin loving water, and as such, I love to use lotion. But of course, I will use body butter as well, but I prefer lotion because it has water in it, and for me, it's more moisturizing. Nonetheless, the main components of body butter vary depending on the idea for your formulation. And again, we talk about key ingredients. So based on what you want the body butter to do for you. Now, some key ingredients usually included in your body butter are as follows: one type of plant derived butter, or you can use a combination of different butters, one or more botanical oils with skin benefits to suit your body butter theme, and a plant-based extract if desired to add a high performance to boost your body butter. Thickeners, and that is normally you can add beeswax in there as well to thicken it, especially if you're going to gift it to a friend. And sometimes, if it's hot, it will melt. So, adding a thickener such as beeswax can help it not to melt as it gets to its destination. This will create the ideal viscosity and skin feel as well. You need an antioxidant to help increase the shelf life and stability of the body butter aroma, and that could be your essential oils or your natural fragrance. And also preservative, it is not required because it's an anhydrous product, meaning you're not putting water in there, but an oil soluble preservative could be added. And I'm going to share an experience. Now, somebody gifted me a body butter once, and they did not put preservative in there. I used it once, and like I said, I'm not really a fan of body butter. And then I put it down for some time, and by the time I took the body butter up to use it again, I realized that there were mold growing inside of it, and I had to throw it away. So for me, if I'm going to gift somebody a body butter, I'm going to make sure I have preservative in there so that it will be stable, especially if you are going to put your body butter in, say, for instance, the bathroom. So as soon as you come out the shower, you use your body butter. That will introduce water in your body butter. We don't want that. So if that's going to be a case, you are going to need a preservative in there. All right, so we're going to talk about the ratio. I think somebody asked about this last week. How do you know what amount to put in there? So for a solid butter, if you need your butter to be solid, use mostly butter and less oil. So between 50 to 70% butter is what you're going to use. For a softer cream, use equal parts of butter to liquid oils. And for a lotion like consistency or serum consistency, you use mostly oil and only a small amount of butter in there. And that could be 30% or less. So this is a breakdown of what you would want to have. So if you want your butter to be soft for soft butter, or if you're using rather soft butters. So, when we're making body butters, we use butters such as mango butter, shea butter, cocoa butter, you name it. So if you are using soft butters, you are going to use between 50 to 70% of those solid butters. 30 to 50% carrier oil, 0 to 10% botanical extracts, 0.2 to 1% antioxidant, and that is your vitamin E, and of course, 1% preservative. If you are using harder butters, you are going to use less. So it's going to be between 30 to 50% and 50 to 70% carrier oils, 0 to 10% botanical extracts, and we're going to have 0.2 to 1% antioxidants, and of course, your 1% essential oil of your choice. Now, I do have a question for you today. What is your biggest skincare challenge? Go ahead and put that down. Anybody? We'll take two, my sister. So once you see that coming in, you could just share, as I can't really see.
Yes.
What is your biggest skincare challenge?
Anisha says maintaining moisture, Cass says dryness, and Tashina says dry skin.
All right. So, with those challenges in mind, that's how you are going to formulate your butter. So, we talked about last week, we talked about researching your ingredients. So, you would want to research your ingredients to meet that challenge. If it was this week, a client called me to say that they needed me to make something for them. The first thing I asked, okay, what do you want this cream to do for you? So, you have to know what you want it to do. Okay, I want it to say, help with dryness or whatever it is. And that's how you are going to research your ingredients to find out which oils to use, which butters to use. And there are some beautiful oils and butters and extracts out there that can really help the condition that you are formulating for. So, as some people mentioned, it could be for dryness, hyperpigmentation, aging, sensitivity, you name it. So, that's how you are going to formulate. So, this is today's formulation. that we are going to use. So we are going to be using shea butter at 30%, mango butter 23 grams, grapeseed oil, rice bran oil, arrowroot powder, preservative, vitamin E, and we are going to use for our aroma some sweet orange essential oil. I'm just going to talk a little bit about these, just a bit. So when we're making body butter, of course, you don't want it to be greasy. All right, nobody wants oil on their skin like that. So we are going to be using butters and oils that absorb into the skin, is lightweight. So we don't want those heavy oils. And grapeseed oil is a lightweight oil along with rice bran oil. Some others are jojoba oil is a good one. Apricot oil, apricot kernel oil is a good one, and also almond oil. Those can be used as well. So you want to choose oils that are lightweight, easily absorb into the skin, not heavy that will, stay on the skin and give you an oily feel. Nobody wants that. And of course, to absorb some of those oils, because these are all oils and butters, you have to use arrowroot powder, all right, or any starch of your choice you could use. So this is going to be our formula. And I think we're going to go right into it because we are going to have to. Oh, I thought I started my water. All right, so we are going to go right into it. Can I ask anybody making butter with me today? If you are following along making butter, let me know. Give me a thumbs up or something. Let me see that you're making butter today with me. If not, that's fine.
No, no, I'm driving.
Oh, you okay?
It's me, Sister Adassa.
Oh, hi, Sister Adassa, welcome. All right, so you can always go back and watch the video and make. That's awesome. That's fine too. All right, because we are going to be doing putting in the fridge and taking it out and stuff like that. So you would want to take a screenshot of this. I think I'm going to have to put it up on my phone. So I'm going to stop sharing. So last week, what I noticed when I was going back into the video is once I started sharing, for those persons who are going to watch the video afterwards, they could barely see what I was doing. So I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to get right into making the butter. All right, so we're going to talk about how we're going to do this process and then we're going to get into doing the process. So in a water bath, and we talked about this already, you're going to melt your butter gently to retain the nutrients and to prevent them from burning. And basically, a water bath or a bain marie is just water, and then so you have a water in a container like this, and then you're going to put your ingredients in that water. So that's your water bath right there. All right, so we are going to, it says, melt the butter gently to retain the nutrients and to prevent them from burning. Basically, it is a heat-proof bowl on top of a pan of simmering water, and you're gonna stir while it's being melted. Remove the bowl from the heat and set aside to cool for a couple of minutes. You're gonna add your oils gently and stir. Under 40 degrees Celsius, you're gonna add your tocopherol, that's your vitamin E. I remember we said that these are heat sensitive, so we have to wait until it's 40 degrees. And then you're going to blend in your essential oils. And if you're putting the arrowroot powder, this is where you put it in as well. You stir it until you get a trace. Then you're going to place the bowl in the fridge for a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. This is going to speed up the cooling process. And we're not going to let the butter sit and hard in the fridge, right? So we're going to keep on checking. We don't want it to get too hard. You're going to remove it from the fridge and you're going to use a whisk and you're going to whip the butter until it's fluffy. Now we can put this back in the fridge 2 or 3 more times depending on how you want it, all right? So if it's not fluffy enough, you can always put it back and till you get the correct consistency that you want. And then of course you're going to transfer your cream into a jar and you're going to label it. So this is what we are going to do here today. So I'm going to stop sharing. right, 1 minute. Okay, so I prepped already. And of course, we talk about GMP, good manufacturing practice. So we know that we have to have gloves. So let me put my gloves on. Give me a minute to grab my gloves. And of course, all my things are clean. All right. All right, so we're making a small amount, so I'm going to use this little container right here, and I have everything weighed out already. And we did say we are going to add our butters. Let me get my stuff right here. Everything is all here. So we're going to put our, and this is mango butter. So put it in my mango butter. And I'm going to add my shea butter. All right, so you can do one of two things. I know some people put their oils in here and then you just wait until it cools. And like I said, you add the other things, but we are going to melt these first, and then we're going to add the oils. Now, like I mentioned earlier, your oils too, you have to know if they are heat sensitive. All right, these oils that I'm using are not really heat sensitive. They could go in there. I'm going to put the grapeseed oil in there to melt with that a little bit, and then I'll just add the other one once it's all melted. Sister Britt, could you take any, are you seeing any questions while we're waiting on our butter to melt?
Yes, while I'm waiting on your butter to melt, our sister asked, why do we melt the butters?
Okay, that's a good question. So we have two different methods of doing body butter. You could do a cold process. You don't have to melt the butter. You could just, as long as you can whip the butter as is. So you have what is called a warm blended process and a cold blended process. So you don't have to melt the butters if you are doing the cold blended process, the cold method. Sorry. I did that 1 year with my students after we finished all exam and stuff like that. I think I made this same body butter here, and we did not melt anything because I didn't use any heat. But they had to work hard in getting the butter to be soft and putting the oil in it and whipping and stuff like that. They loved it. You look at everybody, they were all shine, and yeah, they loved it. So you don't have to melt the butter. You don't have to heat it. Any other question? And
Not
while it's melting, you can always stir. Yes, ma'am. I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying not that I'm currently seeing right now. No more
Oh,
questions so far.
all right. So, we are melting our butter. So it's coming on. All right, sis, you're monitoring the chat. So if you see any, you can just go ahead and let me know. Any question?
All right, so I'm seeing another. Someone mentioned, I tried making body butter before. It was fluffy, but after a while it collapses. And the color changes. What do you think happened?
All right, that's a good question. So we talked about the ratio and what you're looking for in making your body butter. I think I do have, while we wait on the butter to melt, let me share my screen. I do have some troubleshooting that we are going to be looking at as well. Hold on. Entire screen. All right, so that was the next slide. So these are some things that we can find happen to our body butter when you make them. We talked about graininess with our balms last week, and it's kind of the same thing. So your body butter, depending on the butter that you're using, can be grainy. And this is all as a result of improper cooling, right? So you have to be stirring as it cools. Make sure you continue to stir. We talked about the importance of stirring last week in order to allow it not to be grainy. Sometimes your body butter gets hard. This might be the ratio, the oil to butter ratio, and I showed you earlier with the breakdown, right? Or it may be too soft. Again, it's the ratio. You might have too much liquid, or it may feel greasy. That's an imbalance. So you might have to put whatever starch you want to put. It doesn't have to be arrowroot. It could be cornstarch as well. Just something that will absorb some of the oil. So those are some of the things that can happen to your body butter. I hope that answer that question.
Sister Trishina, was your question answered? And while you respond, there's another question.
Mhm.
When making the butters and storing them in the glass jars, especially, should we sterilize the jars before and have them air fry in order to prevent growth or mold, or would regular washing be fine? So do you sterilize with boiling, or is regular washing okay when you're storing your body butters in
All
jars?
right. So normally it depends on who is it that you're buying your containers from. They normally come sterilized, right? But I normally wash my jars again, right? Even though, and then after I wash them, dry them, like I said, you can use some alcohol, and let it air dry. I normally air dry overnight or something, and then I make my body butter. So I normally prep my jars before actually making anything. All right. So that's it right there. All right, my butter is melted, so I'm going to continue.
All right, 1 second. She's asking, did it collapse due to ratio? What about the color changing? About the
It's
body.
about the color.
What, yes, so she's asking, was it because of ratio that it collapsed, or
Yes.
and also what about the color changing? Like, why did the color change?
So that too. So like I said, the ratio is a big thing, and when you're making anything, it's not going to get you like a one go. You have to, you know, do multiple times. All right, you have to test your stuff for it to be perfect. A lot of times you hear somebody say, "Okay, I have this condition. I was trying to solve it," and they test and they test and they finally. So it's not a one test. It's how you want to first. Because like I talk about my lotion, that's my go-to, and it didn't take me like a day or two to get it right. Right. So after many testing, I eliminate this that didn't work or that didn't work, and you keep on trying until you get the consistency and all of that you need. And with the color too, especially if you're using natural colors, it's gonna fade a little bit because of that. All right, so that's another thing. My butter is melted, so I'm going to do the next step. I'm gonna take it out. I'm just gonna push this aside. All right, so I have my butter here. It's melted. And like I said, we are going to Stir. That's very important. All right. So I need to put it down a little bit more. Are you able to see what I'm doing? Um, Pouring in my oil. And this is the rice bran oil that I'm pouring in. I did pour in my grapeseed oil already. And then I'm going to also pour in my arrowroot powder. And now I'm going to stop using that. So I'm going to use my whisk a little bit to make sure I get everything in. Let me make sure I get everything out. So remember we talked about stirring is very important. You have to make sure you stir it properly. And I'm going to stir until it cools down a bit before I can put my heat sensitive ingredients in there. And that would be my vitamin E oil and also my essential oil. So as soon as it cools down a bit, I'm going to add those. Keep on stirring until I get a trace. I'm going to put it in the fridge. And like I said, we'll wait like 5-10 minutes. And then we check on it. And then we start whipping. All right. And we are going to use the electric whisk to do that. So we want to make sure that all the powder is out. We're not seeing any powder in there. I'm not seeing any right now. I'm just keep on stirring so that I can bring it down, pulling it down. All right, so I'm at 50. Down a little bit more. And we are going to use some natural colors today. So some natural colors could be, let's see what we could use. It depends on what color you want it to be. They have mica, that's natural colors. And also, I know a lot of people use mica. And you have other things too, maybe like cherry powder. Watermelon powder is kind of, it's not as bright. So that one, like my sister mentioned, your color will fade. That will cause a color fade. Yeah, I see my sister talk about beetroot, right? And I think sorrel gives us a nice color too. Sorrel powder, it gives us a nice color as well. Miss Britt, are you seeing a question?
Yes.
Something fast, but then if you
Is
can.
is that is that like a thermometer that you're using to
It
measure
is.
the
Yes, it
temperature?
is. It is.
I believe it's a laser thermometer.
It is. Yes. I love this thermometer. And it lasts you a long time. I have it quite a few years now. Yes, that's what I use.
May I suggest something? Thank you.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. I'm man. The
Okay.
other Jamaica.
All right, mom. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the background noise. I was in the background from another state, so I'm on the road. Um, for coloring also, because I've used beetroot and stuff. You can use annatto. Annatto.
Yes.
It's a very powerful coloring. And
Mm-hmm.
I've tested it and showed others, and they've implemented it, and it has worked very well too. In case some people don't have the beat, or
Yes.
I versify. So that's all. Thank you.
Yes. And I have that one too, the anasa powder. It's yeah, that's a good one. So we mentioned earlier, depending on the color you use, you might have some fade, right? Color fade, color that's but that's a good one. Yes, my sister. Thank you very much. All right, so I'm going to add my essential oils now. And then I'm going to place this in the fridge. So I'm adding my essential oils. So what is in here is my vitamin E oil, my I have sweet orange. Smells so good. Y'all have to smell this. I think I'm going to give this. All right. And I do have preservative in there. Like I talk about, you don't have to put preservative because it's an anhydrous product. But like we mentioned earlier, you can put an oil soluble one in there. It won't hurt. It would rather help you if you're going to put your wet finger or dirty finger in there or put it somewhere where it's water prone. All right. So I'm just going to put this in the fridge. We're going to time it. We are going to look at some other stuff while this 10 minutes in the fridge. My little handy person will be putting it in the fridge for me. All right. In the fridge.
All right, I have a few questions.
Go ahead.
3 questions. How about turmeric powder? How about turmeric also for the coloring? And I'll throw in there spirulina as well. How about turmeric and
Yes,
turmeric?
spirulina is nice. Yes,
Yeah.
I normally use spirulina in my so when I make my hair conditioner leave-in, I use spirulina. So mine is blue. You can use the green one. It depends on you. Yes. The thing about turmeric, I love turmeric too, but you know it kind of stainy and it can stain your clothes a bit. So if you are fine with that, then that's fine. Those are natural colorants, and yes, by all means, that those are good.
Another
I
question.
second that.
Another question, and also all your screen is sharing. Another question is,
I am I'm
is,
about to. Hmm.
is there the possibility of any irritation or rash occurring since these colorings are going to be used topically?
No.
Unless the person would have been
And then for any product at all, you're going to do a patch test. So before, even if you make your own product, because there some people are allergic to lavender is the most what would I say, safe for me, essential oil, and then some people are allergic to it. So with anything at all, you have to do a little patch test to find out how you react to it before you actually use it.
I
Right.
agree.
And
Be your
And
the
these,
own, be your own lab rat. So
yeah,
to speak.
and yes, and these things are natural, and you can always they have benefits. Like yesterday, I was discovering, so I think a couple years ago, I got this little mustard seed at church, and I had it a long time, and it was just maybe this season. I looked at it, I'm like, I'm going to plant this little faith here, and I planted it, and it grew. And I yesterday I picked one of those mustard seed. I opened the pod, and there was a lot of seed in it. And I started researching the benefits of mustard seed, and you would not believe the benefit that it has to it. Right? It has so much benefit. You get iron, magnesium, zinc, vitamins. It's rich in all of those things. So, I mean, like I said, again, go back to your ingredients research. Research what you are putting into your products. Whatever you want the product to do for you, research what are the things that will allow me to get this effect and use it. All right. Okay, so
Amen. Amen.
and one last one.
while we go ahead.
Yes, this is the last one. I Tashina mentioned I have Optifen preservative. Can I use that?
Yes.
Optifen.
Mhm. Yes. Yes, definitely you can. I think I put that one on there for the ingredients list I sent out. I'm not sure. I think I put Optifen on there, but yeah, that's one I use as well sometimes. So, what is your favorite skincare ingredients? Anybody? What's your favorite skincare ingredients? I know some people like shea butter. Some people love mango butter. Any favorites? I see shea butter. All right. We have a few lovers of shea butter. Yes, cocoa butter is a good one. I love cocoa butter too. All right, beef tallow. That's something new coming on the market. And you could use beef tallow to make your body butter too. You could try it. All right. So you could substitute one of those butters. So say we have two butters in our ingredients. You could substitute one of those for your beef tallow as well to make your body butter. All right.
Excuse me, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, maybe some don't know what is beef tallow. I do, but would you like to please go ahead and share with us the breakdown of what is exactly beef tallow, what it consists of, or it's made of? Thank you.
All right. So I don't use it much. You can explain after, but for beef tallow, it's the fat parts of, I think it comes from the cow. All right. So when you're buying beef tallow, they normally have, um grass fed beef tallow. So you want to look for grass fed, organic as usual, and stuff like that. Um, like I said, it's from the fat. Fat is section of the cow. You want to add something to that, my sister?
Oh,
'Cause I don't use it.
not at all. You
I
already, the Holy Spirit had you, not flesh and blood, but the Holy Spirit had you exactly the same, making sure it's grass fed, based on how
don't.
how in these days we're
Right.
living in.
You're breaking out. But yeah, so if you're gonna use it, you want to look for that. All right. So I think we touched on this already. What
Animals
are
are
some?
pieces, you know? So definitely I'm still eating. Oh, sorry about that. That
Yes,
Yeah, you're wait out and
you're
in.
cutting out,
Yes.
Sir Adasa.
I guess because you're traveling, sister, we're not. You're going in and out.
And someone
you
was
hear me
also,
better now? Oh,
Yes.
sorry. Do y'all hear me now? Yeah, I'm
yes.
Yes.
just gonna be brief as possible and mute back out. Thank you so much.
All
Um,
right.
you did hit you hit exactly the point, so there's no need for me to say that. But I
Okay.
would just add, as the Holy Spirit gives me the opportunity to do so, is that with check and balance. It's also that being that others may not be at the level where some are at and may still eat animal products or
Mhm.
animal byproducts or animal derivatives, you know, of course, and if that's what's within their reach or they
Mhm.
feel safer to use, definitely
Right.
that grass beef fed is also good because I've known people that have used it and they've
Mm-hmm.
gotten good results from it, you
Right.
know. Yeah, so that's it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
All right. And like I said, I think we touched on this. What are some skin concerns that you hope your body butter can help you with today? And I think I got a few. Some people talk about dry skin. Some of you have eczema prone skin, crack heels. You want to make something for your crack heel or your winter skin. Those are some example. Mm, Are you, do we have any more questions? We are going to check on our butter.
There's a question. Can I use comfrey oil in my body butter?
Yes. So when you say comfrey oil, it would be a carrier oil that you're using with the comfrey. Um, so it depends because you have to know the properties of comfrey. So it depends on what you're gonna do, what you want it for. Like I said, are we making it for dry skin? Are we making it for what do you want it to do for you? But definitely you can. But make sure that would mean you're going to have to infuse that comfort into one of your oils. And again, it must be an oil that is not so oily. All right. So,
Yeah, amen.
yes.
And can I add to that, please?
Right. Go ahead. We're going to start whipping, but go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Even though many people use it mainly for pain salve, based on what you said, you got to find out the proprieties and the benefit of what comfrey is for, and things of that nature. It is. I've known people have used it as body butter because they have pain issues, you know, as well, and they may not can take the salve, you know. But also, you mentioned a bunch of carrier oils earlier, the jojoba almond, apricot,
Mm-hmm.
things of that nature. When you find out what blends well with that, that is something you got to consider as well. Thank you. Because I used to make a lot of comfort salve and share it around with a
Mhm.
lot of folks. So I've tried a several and a whole bunch of things of that nature. Yes. Thank you.
The truth, all right? All right. Mhm. Okay, so it needs a little bit more before we can start whipping it. What makes body butter different from lotion? Like I tell you, lotion is my go-to. I don't really use body butter that much, but these are some of the things that makes it different. So with body butter, it's water free. You don't have water in there in your formulation. It's a rich moisturization. It's an occlusive. It has some occlusive properties, and that means it creates a layer that prevents moisture from escaping from the tissue in your cells, and it's beneficial for dry skin. So those are some difference with lotion and body butter. So it for lotion it has water in there. It does the same thing with moisture. It's not much of an occlusive, right? And of course, it is beneficial to dry skin. Again, it goes back to your ingredients, what you put into your lotion, and how you want it to work for you. All right. So we're going to look at example of research in your ingredients. These are some examples. So if I'm going to put body butter, if I'm making a body butter, I want to put shea butter. So I'll go and I research shea butter. And some people say, oh, I'm not going to buy anything that I can't pronounce. But all of these butters, oils, plants, they have what is called an inky name or a scientific name, all right? And those are from Latin. It's a language that is no longer used. And so they use it as a scientific language for basically everything. So anywhere in the world you go and you ask for shea butter in its inky name, they know what you're talking about. All right. And sometimes some of these inky names can be hard to pronounce, and you have to put it on your package if you are going to be selling as well. All right. So properties. So for shea butter, like we say, it's a wonderful moisturizer, emollient, and very soothing. It's suitable for all skin type. It helps to heal dry, cracked, aged, and damaged skin. So this would be a butter you would want to use in it if you want to make something for your crack heel that we're talking about earlier, right? Or your very dry skin, you would want to add shea butter in there. It's useful for stretch marks, right? And it said it's from the karate tree, which is known as woman's gold, and it's a very soft butter. And of course, the substitute for shea butter is mango butter, and the melting point is 35 degrees Celsius. I won't go through all of this, but we have also cocoa butter, mango butter. So you would have to go through and research your ingredients, see what it's for, and stuff like that, and what's the melting point. If I don't have this butter, what else can I use? How much percentage should I use in there? Some of those things that you're researching will tell you. All right. Beeswax is another one. Like I said, you can add it in there if you're going to be gifting it and you don't want it to melt on the way. You can put a little beeswax in there. But, and I forgot to say, if you were not going to use preservative in your ingredients and we have it on that list, you would have to substitute something else for it. So say for instance, I have 1 gram for my preservative and you are not using preservative, you're going to have to maybe add 1 more gram of maybe a butter or something else just to make that up to the 100%, because we have to make it to 100%. All right. My sister, how am I doing with time? All right. So in 3 minutes, I'm going to check my butter and we're going to whip. I do have one that I made already, can show you if it gets to that point where we have to leave. All right, so we have beeswax. So you find the melting point. It says it acts as an occlusive. We talked about this already, right? It protects a layer that prevents moisture from escaping from your tissue. So it acts as an occlusive, which means it creates a barrier on the surface of your skin, which slow the natural evaporation of water. Beeswax is useful to make balm, salve, lotion, and the massage bars, and is sometimes used in creams for dry skin as well. So you can use this in your body butter as well. And there are other waxes. You don't have to use beeswax. You have jojoba wax, you have almond wax, you have cannonella wax, you have others as well that's not here. And I did last week say that I was going to share with you some suppliers where you can get your ingredients to buy, to purchase. Here are a few. I have one, two, three, four, five, about 8 of them right here. I have about 3 of them normally that I buy from. I normally go to Lotion Crafter or makingcosmetics.com. I think I've purchased something from Mountain Rose Herbs already as well, and also Formulate Sample Shop. Those are a few that I have used, and here are some others where they're found, and also their website. So you can screenshot that. And like I said, it's recorded, so you will have this recording. All right. My last question. I'm going to stop sharing, but just bear this in mind because I'm going to get my butter. I'm going to whip and I'm going to pour. But like I said, it depends on how you want it, how fluffy you want it. You might want to put it back in the fridge and whip it again 2 more times. We might not have that long time. So, but the last question I'm going to ask you, what is one thing you have learned from today's workshop? What is one thing you have learned from today's workshop? And I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to check on my butter. All right, so it is, I don't know if you can see. Can you see?
Yes, I can see that.
Right, so it's kind of forming. Yeah, so we're going to whip that.
Tiana said, I learned I have a new place to buy butter and soaps called eliranatural.com. So praise God.
I'm not hearing. Somebody was saying something?
Okay, when you're finished whipping, we'll go again.
What was that? So, like I said, I whip. I'm going to have to put it back in the fridge. But I'm going to show you the one that I made already. So, here, I'm going to put back this in the fridge. Go ahead, my sister.
Yes, so there were two questions. Two, one question and a statement. So the statement we asked, what did they learn? Tiana said, I learned I have a new place to buy butters and soaps called
Okay.
oliversnatural.com. So I say amen to that.
All right.
Sandra was asking, do you also have, or do you also make hair moisturizers like water-based or anything? Example with like rose water. Hair moisturizers. Do you make hair moisturizers with rose water or with any water-based thing?
Okay, so if you're asking about, all right, so let me tell you how I get this question. So if you're talking about you making it, yes, you can, right? For mine, I use when I'm making my leave-in conditioners, I use aloe vera juice with a little bit of water. So again, I'm leaving this product in my hair. What do you want it to do for your hair? So with everything, you ask yourself, what do I want this to do for my hair or my skin? And that's where you take it from. And that's how you research your ingredients. Sure, you can use that. For example, in my lotion, I started making my lotion because my daughter has eczema, right? And I have been making, first of all, I started with butters, and I realized as we talk about it's an occlusive and it stays on the skin, yes, that's something I would want to put after I put my lotion on because for eczema, it's very drying and you want to make sure you have moisture. So, and that is why I started making lotions, right? I realized that the oil wasn't doing it. And so I started making lotion. I use witch hazel in my lotion, right? Along with aloe vera juice. And so after you put your lotion on, sure enough, you can put your occlusive on. You can put your body butter if you want to, right? But I made mine with just, thank you, Sister Britt, for sharing. I made mine with just those ingredients.
So for those of you that have not checked out the website as yet, this is Alira's Natural
Yes.
website. And I saw a few people, well, I saw one person say that they had eczema prone skin, and another mentioned that they just wanted a natural lotion. And so, as you mentioned, you began with lotion or for your daughter's eczema.
Yeah. Could you go back down to the picture
Yes.
right there? Yes.
So this is
So
before and after. Go ahead.
that's actually my daughter's skin, right? So her eczema, that's how it was. It was terrible. It was on her knee, it was behind her, it was on her two arms right here, the knees and stuff like that. It was on her chest right here, the pictures that you're seeing, it's on her chest, and that's a before and after pic. So yeah, thank you.
It works, guys. I'm telling you firsthand that this works. And if you are interested, if you too have eczema prone skin, then you want to run over here and you want to check out the Gotcha Cola and Witch Hazel lotion. And as she mentioned, I believe last week, that you should definitely give some time. You mentioned something about the skin and how long does it take to work?
Yes, at least a month.
Yes, at least a
I'm
month.
looking for my I made one per. Can't find it.
And with anything, you want to be consistent with it, daily application and what else, Tanisha? The people with eczema, what else? Any advice you could give to them? Or maybe if that's for the end, you let me know.
Yes, just make sure you keep that moisturized. So this is the body butter that I made. Per, because like I said, we're gonna have to wrap up shortly, and I'm not sure if you're gonna see the one that I started because it has to go back in the fridge and whip a couple more time. So this is the one I made. This one did not have any color. I didn't put any color in this one, and of course I use a piping, but it's rather the fine one. So yeah, so this is one. This is peach flavor. And of course, if you don't want to use essential oil, you can get your natural flavored oil from Brambleberry. And I think there's another one, another place, I can't remember it right now, but they have some nice natural fragrance oils.
So I have another question. Do you have any recommendations for stretch marks?
You can make your own body butter, targeting your stretch mark. And like we mentioned, shea butter is a very good butter to use for stretch mark. So based on this body butter workshop that we have just done, you can go ahead now and research and use all of those oils and butters that target that. And extracts too. There are some great botanical extracts that you can use as well.
Okay, so a body butter
Amen.
lotion with the researched ingredients specifically to stretch marks, and that should help with consistency as well. All right, thank you so much.
I've learned quite a bit of things. It's always good to relearn. I've learned that I need to get back to making my body butters. I just recently made one, and I like to use mango butter. That's what I use today again.
Mhm.
Um, of course, God is the source of consistency. We are not consistent without Him, you know?
Right.
Um, even for the person who said about the stretch mark and in everything, which with prayer, a little mustard seed of faith with prayer will go a far, long, mighty way, in doing so. And lastly, uh, I learned that, of course, most of us islanders, we use, we go by when we're cooking, same principle in cooking, we don't measure things. But anyway, but when I'm sharing and teaching others, just sometimes I use measurement with them, but it shows the importance, especially dealing with the skin, as well, to give a proper measurement so it will balance out. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
don't overpower or you don't underpower, basically, to lose the potency of what you want to get, especially if you're doing ones with the my friend from the restaurant is calling. I do have to take this call. Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, because I help with events. Oh man. But and it's hard to get to her. I do apologize. I got thrown off.
Thank you,
But
my
it just let me know that that's what we need to do.
Yes.
To have the proper measurement and how important that is, very much so. Yeah, to get the best result that is needed. Yes. And I learned something. I know about mountain rose herb and one other, but it's good to, learn more. I got two other resources that you shared today, and I really appreciate it. God bless. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I have a question after you finish whipping. I don't think you're hearing me.
I'm sorry about that. So continue to whip my butter. I'm gonna show you.
Could you hold it up a little bit? We're not
Yeah.
really. Okay.
Oh, you need some whipping some more? I still have some. All right, this is right here. I'm gonna put it back in there because I want it to be more fluffier than this. Like I said, but depending on your consistency that you want. So you continue to do that. So I'm gonna put it in there one last time, but we are going to hand here. We're gonna hand it right here. All right.
We could go for 10 more minutes if you need to, or if you have any additional information you want to share with us. Also, there's a question in the chat.
Okay, what's the question? Mhm.
Uh, how long does your lotion last?
Well, it depends on how you use it. Cause I gifted one a couple months ago when I was talking to my girlfriend the other day, and she was like, I'm still using that lotion. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, what? I don't know. We use it hard right here, so it depends, and it's thick, and it does last a long time. So it depends on you and how you're using it. Because some persons just using it for that particular, they want to just put it on eczema or whatever it is. So, but like I said, we use it hard right here. I'm lotioning from head to toe. That's me. But it lasts long though. Any other question?
Anisha has her hand up. Anisha, you could go ahead.
Okay, Anisha.
Hi.
You're breaking up, sis.
So when I'm asking how long it lasts, are you able to hear me better now?
Yes, go ahead.
Are you able to hear me now? So when I'm asking how long it lasts, I'm thinking about like the expiry date, like you would say, okay, it lasts for about 4 months, 6 months, because we're
Okay.
looking at with mold and those sort of things. So is there like a time period that you're gonna make a small batch to take you for about 3 months and then you remake that sort of thing?
Okay, so if you put preservative in there, it lasts you up to a year or more, a little bit over a year. But we normally put on the label after open 1 year after opening, and it stays out because you will have preservative in your lotion. Or if you're making a body butter and you want to put preservative in there, like I said, they're all natural preservatives, so you can find and put it in there. And it depends on the oil that you use too, because some oil goes rather rancid quickly. So it's anywhere between 6 months to up to 12 months. 6 to 12 months. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
Go ahead, we're hearing you.
Okay. So I have a client. She has a baby. She's 10 months old. And I'm happy that you touched on eczema because she has eczema. And so this product that you posted there, would she be able to use that, seeing that she's 10 months old? That
Which
would
one?
apply for her. The one with the witch hazel or something like that?
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
that will work for her.
That's fine.
Okay, all right. Because she's really suffering badly with the eczema.
Yeah, and I do tell clients as well that it's not just your odor, it's also what you intake. So we have to cook up
Mm-hmm.
some stuff. So for my daughter, I had to, take her off of cheese, dairy products, and stuff like that. So you have to
Mm-hmm.
watch what you put inside as well. And then
Mm-hmm.
especially if she's pregnant and probably want to drink milk, but there are other options. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Soy milk or you name it. Almond
Okay.
milk. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right then. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions?
All right, if not, I'm going to give it the last whip, and then that will be it. All right, so this is it before I whip. I'm gonna whip it the last whip. I'm not done. Get the corners.
Okay, so we see it thickening up.
Yes. And I'm going to allow it to stay in the fridge a little bit too long.
And I like the color as well that you chose. Very beautiful.
Your favorite color is pink.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I did use a mica. Tell you about the mica. So this is what I use for my color, and this is watermelon red. That's what I use for my color. Now we talk about other natural colors that you can use as well. All right. And as my sister talk about colors, remember we talk about natural colors. They kind of lose a little because it was brighter than this, but as I go into it, all right. So I mean, I could whip it some more. Like I said, it depends on you. But I'm gonna end my whipping right here. And you can pipe it. You could just put it in your bottle. It depends on you again. And I did sterilize my bottle and put a label on there. Label is already on my bottle. Sterilize. So this is my butter. That's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to join us next week where we're gonna make some soaps. All right.